So social media platforms, Revolt Media. Across all social media platforms, being Facebook, TikTok, Snap, Twitter, IG, everywhere. Revolt Media. We're live across all social media platforms. We live across all social media platforms. Revolt Media. Across all social media platforms, being Facebook, TikTok, Snap, Twitter, IG, everywhere. Revolt Media. We're live across all social media platforms. We live across all social media platforms. Revolt Media. Across all social media platforms, being Facebook, TikTok, Snap, Twitter, IG, everywhere. Revolt Media. We're live across all social media platforms. We live across all social media platforms. Revolt Media. Across all social media platforms, being Facebook, TikTok, Snap, Twitter.
Yes, we live on every social media platform. We live, and that's our review. And all that matters. Mama Jasmine. Also, we could pay skin to maintain man. We are said about ornament too. So, man, they Martinemu Eddie Amano. And then minute team leader our whole. Allah lie. And the Cobra for had I for so yes, we didn't. And if we didn't come on, we don't have any choice. Say, anyway. Yeah, I can't say when you express here, who's we said a trigger said, oh, go. Go, bro, for said I'm faster. But all bad was a video, no, Eddie Mame. This is Revolt Media and Revolt Radio. Obanwash video, no, Eddie Mame. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Chevy, as always, NAM producer for the day. This is All That Matter. Meeting Mama Jasmine.
We're live across all social media platforms. We live across all social media platforms. Revolt Media. Across all social media platforms, being Facebook, TikTok, Snap, Twitter, IG, every.
Yes. And now about Park Krypton waha, Big Mike waha, na ahon fe hima, and a special guest there ahon fe hima. Ampomfi boate. Let's say the Ampomfi no. Where does it originate from?
Asante Mampo.
Ampomfi oh. Oh really? Oh.
Okay.
From Mampo. Oh, you don't know. So simple. Only simple man.
Simple man. I didn't sound familiar.
Who do Mampo station wa restaurant now? Simple man. Me father. Me nana. Me papa e kurumu no.
Okay.
But I said me said that really. Debbie me nana. Sep yeah. Me papa kurumu no.
Okay.
The reality yes you dey na dey anka me kurumu no. Yes. Yeah. Enti Mampo dey call kakra dey agi eni so yimunche so kakra. Ade aze. Oyo waso. Abi ko munche kakra. Me madam munche ka buskrada. Because choro aid of deck by the oh, na mo fa chali oh. Ti na me ade aze. Me fa chali ti ko vacation. Because break. Because break. Anyway, Obapa and say
I'm not the one elsewhere, sorry.
What did you do?
Me didi.
Uni dia come make us didi the cover the what did you do? Be aboko. And then Monday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Hey, you know
Tuesday.
Hey, that's more. And then Tuesday, Papa. Why you ready there? Yeah. Big Mike, are you ready? Mom, and let me share that. When you two women, so I can relax. Anyway, Big Mike, what are there?
I don't know.
So me hoye pa. Adumara kwa. Ebeneza de odi abi duru no. Good. Oba hema ahonfe ampomfi boate.
Yes.
Big God desirable. Anyway, welcome to All That Matters for the first time.
First time, yes.
Yeah. Obo ejuma so pa nyamisha. Feedback na papa. Feedback na papa. People are very interested in your show. I'm for free seeing more people on the show. It will really help.
Yeah. You should have more than 2
Yeah.
Panelists and
But
at least 2 panelists, 1 guest should do.
But Ufreuchi labo sa alcohol. Me across we here more para listen to. My friend na na ka wasa.
Because me planning on Mother's Day special. And
Mother's Day that way.
First week in May.
First
Sunday,
week.
First Sunday in May.
yeah, until you be
Father's Day that way.
June.
Somewhere in June.
Ote.
Somewhere in June.
Ote. Okache say Mother's Day first Sunday of May. Meboa.
Yeah.
Me busa ne say
2nd Sunday of June. And I
say we first day first girl. Anyway, now other than body they crab back first answer of about the other.
Women ladies first, and I think men, you know, they correlate it with Samada or something like that.
I don't know who they brought all that. Because this and the second of who says a share that yes.
When we say wait for the March, UK for the
UK, yeah, UK for the but I say okay God are the America did. Yeah. Anyway, we will figure out the particular me in the bar that man the bar there but and coexisting yeah the baby. So today we are talking about and a can for choir before who are coexisting both men and women. And on Saturday, when our sister finished her show, you didn't realize they said after the show there was a huge show after the show. It happens a lot
Show after show.
because somebody made a comment on the show also, and Ophelia said there is more to it. And he put a comment in the accurate, and we had a huge show. It was more than an hour, right?
Yeah.
Of which I really thought it could have been a nice discussion. Yeah. But they are check and hey, by the trust you they trust.
True.
So this is how I want us. Okay, but trust is say a loner soul. Loner soul, a streetwear. I say this somebody and worry. Yes, I think I'm overexcited. Loner soul and worry this summer open t-shirt quality, print and quality. Fabric no enye pepe fabric bi e shawana ubodi ye o pepe no enye that fabric ni bi www.lonasoulstreetwear.com ne ko je de your shirts that has a 3D print and your shorts. So the shorts on the man we do one dance man is so we medium and not small we small not extra small na bi added the ye kama so wo fie na wo ye adwuma wo be so give bi free wukunu ha say any kan na hye oba na be dis adanse no yes enti ukoho na bibia kama ede ama your business hat so ho no akwaje wo de e wo honom RG kit so de eba mfonyini de a omuye number 1 open kura mfonyini se wawo na opese o twa wo day born baby na unya sa a memory ne de to ho a and on RG kit ko Instagram ne ko RG_kit_portrait ne koje home portfolio no na bibia nko nkan emfama ewo ehonom maternity ne de o number 1 bia ne wo to be twase no to ko ne ko he ewo honom with your friend was 614-254-2151 ehona RG kits ewa ono so odini dwumadie fefefe ekuba de eyenku papa nipa wo wiase na wa hofe ebesi pi esita ekuba we de ne kire nipa anya uti o nya wanim nya shape we de no the way we de ni si daso no na kire wa hofe ntiko ekuba honom over 14 varieties of products na on fire de wow the way our skin is tie bia ebenya wonku ama about the send so en connect ya ekuba bedi ho djuba ama me se me wo baba na se okofa be ma ba no ni aboje sa mempene oba ne be ma they should be different. I said, Bema, the wabo just say, come on, no, a man must be ugly and fearful. No, he may fearful. What did I say? Sir, Niska crowd abo just salmon and baby mouth. It's go Cuba hollow. www.ekuba.com. Na kwa jodi na bibia enko kama. Yes, it's Yasaba. Let me introduce you topic now. So the topic is a quine ben ye be faso. A coexist as a ma and a mema. Because it looks like, say, Oba free so on your bonnet, Bema free so on your bonnet. And so you but together, it's winter. A member name man, a man any member. This uncle on ye baby. And come on, we are having a series by 5. Because how come we know? Yes, it's very deep. We need to understand. And when we are having can say maybe I know from Bam of Fanche, yes, that's on my anon from because and come away, no, the problem that we are facing in this society, is because a man to me mass, a man to mass, and that is our problem. We but Tine, my cuckoo down for moon now, I will be able to change enough. Yafe more bana, yede aboye bra. Timmy the master say, Bill say, mobile. Why, mamma started one?
Dear Pessoy.
Master. Ufri say, like I'm starting you because you did the show and topic we go by. Ufri say, at the end of your problem tia a man and mema yen to me entnamu. Most of the time we join this beautiful union. Like we love ourselves. And yes, I don't think so people will be a bra. Oh no. We love ourselves. All of a sudden, we begin to wear we cement that we cement boom. What do you think is going on?
Me da say. Mame fanchia Emma one car bed phone na any mother for baby wherever you are listening to me from bia me den chiama and yes I hofe babet na ya me about all that matters me be share my drink kakra ewo the ntia e man mema de bia pinche ewo yentem na question you beside there I think say woman answer no one of the answers in that question we start here we say entiasie enye adwuma wo de na entiasie enye adwuma wo man mema I think one of the biggest issue is entiasie enye adwuma na entiasie enye adwuma no so no based on so many things. I'll come to that maybe in the course of it. Me feel say the man no yin to me adwin ya adwin into me nye baako no ewo levels because you can't adwin kra na say nipa nkasa ye bobre no unim say nipa we are made ye spirits your body your spirit your soul right but the mistakes as humans you making it say ye share ye ho a ye nhwe say we are on the same I understand
spectrum.
Yes, we can't be the same, but at least we need to be able to have some things in common. Right, I say. As I say, where she will be not beliefs, be more right from then until I say enye juma no. So what I say, where she will be more and eponam ni obi din common. Me say sometimes o hobby. Na nipa ni be some question say officer on me din common no. What will I say the deepest conversation we've ever had?
Oh, okay.
And I'm catching and said the deepest conversation we've ever had, we have it every day. Because you don't have to be serious. You don't have to have a serious face. Say, hey, I'm having a serious conversation. And sana a serious conversation. When you're even talking to somebody about a hobby a day, are serious? Every serious conversation is a conversation, whether it's coming from the past, the present, that links to the future. And komo bia ni obi bedi bia ye link to the future bia serious. Me share o hobbies here different from mine. Ope bo hwe me just me outside cry. How do you think we can coexist when we get married? A lot of people think say marriage is a solution to most problems we have. But in actual fact it's not. Who share obi na enyoma bebre entalia. To me 100%. But nyoma bebre entalia most definitely mo worry asa na be. So what I say, so not being able to coexist, and aside from the time now your friendship, you take it time to know ourselves, to find out, and you might be interesting things to find out, and you might say, say about us. Yentna say and finding out say you mentally, nipa we cannot dream when it's in any media to say, emotionally no or physically crampo no, me pe. Last time near arguments when I make catch was say sometimes in go be the ahochre mema especially to make a fam maybe obenya sika wie no I want obe say say we kronya me spec as at that time na dey na you okay because ope sebio manu sisim na so ope oba no for dos ne to so a onim say me hwe me ho a me ko pesa obe ya ompene ene ma me fa de ne to flat here enye ne spec obenya sika na office obetumi afford your bar na so obetumi take care of for bar or what to wonu for no na afi obetete de odi kan akofa no So what I say, it's right from the onset, and I say source nankasano, hard.
It pay you no more of like understanding.
Understanding no wo. So what I say, understanding no wo, communication wo. And your manoma baby, until I say, Mujami, I make a but then Yaman Kwana Metia.
Yeah, as we move on.
To them, I mean, Jency understanding.
Infancy understanding.
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
My-
Onset.
from the onset.
Onset.
That is where my stress is, right from the onset.
Big Mike,
Young
Quick.
girl, right.
Oh yeah,
Catching
boss.
people and pain.
Me, I'm crashing. But anyway, I think, say, Vanessa, if the question is, say, can men and women coexist? It's possible, but then like two people cannot agree unless Bible not
The
correct.
Bible says, yeah.
Yeah, and see, it has to be said like a ecosystem where everybody is willing to compromise, right? Okay, in our DNA compositions are different as a man and a woman, right? And see, if we are coexisting as husband and wife, is different from like coexisting as like brother and sister.
All right.
So the problem with it is that I think that we usually fail to define our roles, right? In a world where our roles are defined, we live by it, we do our roles, and then like we don't step on anybody's toes.
Right.
I say yeah like in a relationship, me share me ba santua and my sister. Because I invest me know like these are the rules. But I mean, like, you know, you want to my son in the beginning, we don't have to like I don't have to tell you say you are hurting me and son of me who said like you are doing that.
Oh, okay.
And see, if we are in a relationship, right, it is governed by certain rules.
Written and unwritten.
Exactly. This and that. Right? In any way, when those rules are broken now, then like there's a problem. Like these are the written rules. The unwritten ones are very, very simple as like, flipping toilet seats and stuff like
Those
that.
things. No.
Yeah, and then like some hygienes, right? And I know, like I said, like when you get to meet somebody now, I would say like you have to know the person, but there is a complexity to human beings, right? What you see, I can give you what you want to see, right? Say
Okay.
say now, like this is like the Michael that you know. If I go home, there's another Michael, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I really don't think so. I feel like so, as long as like there is a defined relationship, like what are we, right? Say be a share asantwa. Now it's like what are we, right? If we are able to like label what we are now, there is a rule that will govern what we are.
Okay. Chirimuye, like say if I be a Oshia sister.
Asantwa.
Onijino ho.
Right? Usually it's about like if the feelings are not the same, if it's not mutual, like,
One more.
right? Then it's up to Bakuna. No, like Nedo Akwedi will be in China said, okay, like I probably like have to put in some works and be like she will start looking at me with like the same like heart
Or energy. Yeah.
exactly. But at some point, you need to give up because whatever relationship that is, like I feel like it's love to some extent. It's not real.
Love is not real.
It's not real. Like
Really?
I
Yeah.
beg to differ.
love, not right?
If
we can't love, like if we can't love like Jesus Christ, like me give my life for Asantua and I said we're not. It's
But we do
Then
that all the
it's
time.
real.
how.
Then it's real. If you are saying if you can love like Jesus Christ, that means there is love.
Yeah, but then
So
you
you
and I
have
we
to
are
be
not
specific as to
we
what
are
love
not
you're
we
talking
are not Jesus Christ.
We are not. Jesus Christ came in human form.
Yeah, but then
He
the
did came in
things
human
that
form.
he did
Whatever
was
he
not
did, he
was
did
not
it.
human.
But don't we do this
Whatever-
every day? Me waking up
and I'm
every
making
day,
like-
risking my
like-
life for
That's
my family.
sacrifice right there.
That is sacrifice. That's not like
That
the
is
love
part
that.
of love.
So that's where the I mean in my understanding, like that's where the mistake is, right? We are putting like a lot of things under the umbrella of love, right?
Okay.
And I feel like once again it goes back to like labeling these things, right? Kumasi and I, as a man, we can sacrifice we do sacrifice for people that we don't even care about. Am I lying?
We do.
We do that, right?
Like how I'm sacrificing for you.
Exactly. And then because of that, sometimes when our wife asks, "Oh, well," you look at it like after your mom being but then again, she can also I say, "So I didn't know your mom. You do it for your mom, you do it for your brothers, you do it for your sisters, right?" But then she can equate that said because you do it for all of them, and then like you
so any peculiar to her, you know. Okay.
Yes, and plus because you are doing it for different number of people, right? And you're doing that for her, no? Right? Because said one thing that she needs from you, as in like you taking her out, no, you're not doing it. She can equate that to you not loving her.
Oh no, because I know who he is.
Exactly.
Matthias.
That's what I say.
Matthias.
We cannot like put everything under one bracket and then call it love. Right?
It will feel a bit differ from individual to individual.
It can. Because me personally, I feel like some men do that like all the time. We sacrifice for people that we don't even care about. We just do it because
we have to do it.
Because we have to do it.
So in your mind, it wouldn't be love.
It wouldn't be love.
Sister, you know.
What would you call that?
Just sacrifice. It's like there's nothing
Women
like
sacrifice more than men. What are you saying is that men must sacrifice more than...
I didn't say that.
Oh,
I think what he's trying to say is say
all I'm saying is that we put in everything under the umbrella of love, right? And I'm saying that me ni mo cry na wait na ka say Michael Vance me obabi say ni me hiam boy me ni mo obana
your responsibility.
Me try to school fees for the rest of his life, and I don't even care about you. I can't come that. A lot of men do that. And I'm saying that that's not love, right? And see, if I'm doing that for you, I'm doing that for my wife and kids, right? That's maybe the problem is that I don't take her out, right? And because of like that one thing, I don't take her out. No. She thinks I don't love her. Why? Because whatever I'm doing for you, I'm doing for her.
Like Martin Officer Charles. So let me say be at Sana Wokan.
Yeah.
What you are trying to say is okay, Adia me yema ubi so far as any peculiar to my woman, na me woman what specific thing be a man.
Yeah.
Which man can say no.
It is
because
subjective.
I'm not doing.
Yeah, love. Like, it's not relative. So like it's like a baseline. It covers like a common.
Say love.
Exactly. Okay. And see, I'm saying depending on what label that we put on our coexistence, and say, so we know what's it, right? Maybe I came to your parents' house, took you from your parents' house, did a whole engagement and everything, right? You have some expectations from me, right? And I'm supposed to fulfill like that, right? But there are certain expectations that your family members or papa now or your mom, he expects me to do that. So those ones comes first. Everything else, even though to you, you value that, it is secondary. So what I say? Rent comes first. The kids comes first. The bills comes first. Everything else comes first. Going out, secondary. Right? But then exactly. But then it is up to my partner to put value on whatever that I don't hold anything against her, like whatever that she put value on, whether it's going out or paying the bills. So what I say. And see, based on that, she can equate me doing everything else, but not taking it out as
you are not doing it. Yeah. Okay. Martin answer.
Yeah.
Obaba. What do they argue? Do you actually understand what he's trying to say?
I do, but scenario not mine, like say some men put it on them, say they take care of some other person's child. No, it's a choice now. We make here. So far as that choice needed, behind every choice, there should be a reason why you're doing that. And I feel say if there's a reason, then that means there's an ounce of love somewhere.
Thank you.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay.
There's an ounce of love there. You can call that love.
Find the meaning of love for me, please. Define love for me.
I have it.
You have it? Okay,
Yes.
Go ahead.
So love can be defined as an intense affection or a great interest and pleasure in something or someone.
That is love.
That is love.
Okay.
An intense affection or a great interest. So I was starting me picking up from where Asantua left off. I say there are different types of love that we express. And the way we express it, you might think it's not love, but it is.
Okay.
Jesus' kind of love, you know, there are 4 main kinds of love, even though there are multiple, right? We have that Jesus' kind of love, that
Agape.
Yes. And
And
then
your
we
bro
have
agape.
agape.
And your bro fu.
Oh, wait, I blew my phone.
If you have look one buy oh.
Hey, I break my fan milk.
that's
Hey,
not
make up for shout out to all the I break my fan milk.
I break my na. Me too, you dada. Yeah, go.
So, into no, the Jesus' kind of love, and what the platonic one, where you have love for friends. See, the love, and then we have that affinity, but I know you're for it be our parents, children, because the way you feel about your family will be different from the way I feel about my family will be different from the way I feel about you.
Of course.
No two ways.
Of course,
but that doesn't mean I don't love you.
Right.
It's just the way I express
Your love in this
one
world.
differences. And to know you can say maybe and we put it all under the umbrella of love, but in your love, I don't agree because there are different kinds of it, right? And to know maybe you are belonging to some kind of
type of love.
Type of love.
Okay.
Most definitely, and that much intense. That doesn't mean there is no love. Example now, I'm making about somebody taking care of a man taking care. It's your friend's child, right? Why would you waste time doing that?
People do it like the same reason
Because
people
there is
do
a
charity.
reason. Yes, people do charity because they feel it. Obi or your charity because on one casa fee charity home. And I say our experience be and I say otnas no dream you maybe want say no. So the feeling you have, that affection you have that makes you want to do something, it's love. But that is different from that feeling you have for your wife. So as I say, I know there are some narcissist human beings out there that would want to, be out there doing marvelous things for people outside, but then they don't show love when they come home.
But how do you define that?
Mentally, they are not.
No. How do you define that? Say, obi be kwa bonte.
Obi be ma sa love.
Obi kwa bonte. Wako chira odo. But I would do the fear unto me chira odo.
And I make sure so be or how.
Is there a specific love be aware expecting a unya na office on chira odo?
Switch it. To say the love now you have. Now so be to me outside the rent. But now onto an if you rent. But because of
so be an if you know the no nije you or no over so called Starbucks. But maybe about this over belly your friend cheesecake factory. But so every week. Say man no almost say mope. Oh okay. Okay.
Why would say maybe cake cheesecake?
Into what kind of love, right? Is required for a man and a woman to exist, like in
what type of love?
What type of love? Like is like in all domains, like in marriage, in like in every like what kind of love? Because it looked like question would be saying like as in the topic.
How we can coexist.
Yeah, because it looks like said now more than ever, there's like it's like there's a war between men and women. Right.
I feel like that it has to be a build up because I can't meet you right now and feel the love that I have to feel for my wife for you. Or my husband for you. But I can feel that friendship love for you. You understand? And then when it gets to a point where I feel like, okay, we are you're interested, you pair, this person I think say meet me natina, you bet me abobra. It builds something I say odo enyini because the more you live with somebody, the more you are more attached to somebody. Only ho cry now no, and yeah, my divorce yeah.
So is it conditional or unconditional?
Meet me agina mfimfin because you will nipa obi ane de wodwene obi betimi ador unconditionally obi so bedo because of condition nti sa question e de bia me ka say individual preference.
So how do you know?
Enyoma bebre ene obetimi ehu
say me dey hu sa santo adobe
ena me chi
me dey me hu because they say me ye ma no me ye ma no me dey me hu so do odo me say oba me ne te a me yire no me dey hu so do
that brings us to love language.
Okay,
so what I say most of the time the yente love language I say obema
me wo 5 ni nyina me be this specific one 5 ni nyina love language wa je ba akwa aba me a
but I dey aba ko be
be Sister,
me near the
we pay
same
quality time.
level.
We so spend the hobby. We so no be but so bube. Me what is
It's easy to do.
You think it is easy to
It's
do
easy to do.
as one person?
What's someone wants to say?
But
Someone can say there's an ounce of compromise. Or like you have to let something go.
But because see, me unto me and can say, oh, me asantua dom you, but then asantua nim o love language and I nim o love language, but you are just assuming. Like last week, na me can. The biggest issue in renewing relationships is assumption. Now we dream say, oh, by this time there, I did we me you know, I was so pay you, and I say with your only excuse to
who say me juma.
Yes, me boy juma. Obi to me skills on pemos. I need my yard there. We be so bad say why you satisfied. We be so bad say.
Now what you satisfied?
Oh, you fake it. Oh, you fake it. I know they're manning this.
Maybe on until like
at
one point.
I
don't know. And she might say at what point does like being spontaneous comes to, because once I can say moon communicate, right? And say hypothetically, right? Many that now be what can my gym when my skills have been bad, right?
And I never.
I'm telling you. But then again, what's can say like how do I like I need to access so say this. If you come a question, it'll be sad. Right? Like how does it sound? Me about like one. How does it sound? No, two. There are so many occasions that I've heard women. And once again, I'm generalizing it. Say like as a man, like you need to be spontaneous, right? Part of being spontaneous is like surprise, right?
Yeah.
And see, when I say me share some skills, and me say, oh, I think me use skills, person and in my mind, really been bad. And so say, I should go it. Like what's it I say? And see, like, how do we do that?
Being spontaneous, and I said to say, be our questions.
And I make us
say, be spontaneous, but as I do, the tea I mean, Musa go you are not in. So I'm asking, the homo cannot say.
I understand.
The sister actually will say there's levels to love. Okay, but your call. But say, go on you here. Yeah, the mistake you made. Yeah. Oh, okay, so the mistake. But your call.
So I believe, sir, with a question now would be saying it's good. Say Bema dear, you have to know Bema. We are, I don't want to be specific here. We have to, learn.
Yeah.
Into being wakosia dear, what they are befie, or be try. If we are there, you'll be fee and say will be fee. What I say, baby, I could see a fee, a jawo. A friend of mine told me something, or say, or ne or share nikuno. Ye say ye young dia ye be too full asemba nyanu kuna ho mache na ni ho komo na den oh wetie futo ni nyina o oni ni kunu o ma aware na start omunya issue kakra bi na ni kunu be fi o 7 fine o si o me twen ahomache ne manyane no ahomache no ba obe me mpatcho be se me no di nkomo o si the way I hell breaking loose when if you no, because the man was like me be fie me nam ho the whole time. Who enkomoni media? Why didn't you talk to me about it? Why do you have to wait until my koda? Ahomachi wenya ne me. Me kwa adwuma so anopa. Don't try this again. Nipa na o to self to no eye adwuma ma no. But that doesn't mean say wo na obe apply na be ye adwuma ma. So oba na de wakosua na o de abefie no wakosua ba. Wa be try. You need to have a conversation about it. It's something new. You are introducing something new to you guys. This is my opinion. I believe you need to share.
A conversation about it. What you be? Say back. Maybe be just type yo. I love the abefi style. You would have him. You would have him. Oh, it is a boy. Yeah. Bow said that what you say be yes style you. But the way I be open it and be bounce and a call for specific style. What's it up there? And then
I know you're different. Oh, they may buy.
Okay.
Sure. What question are they be out there? Befi. Him say empema good yankasa no and starting fee empem.
Of course. Of course.
Into uko sua
As I do onim as I do I trese be a obetimi.
Yes, I am starting fee and yes that time no near empema good you. And starting fee dada. So what I say, there has to be that until at the corner wako sua no. There are ways to communicate it to your wife to prep her mind. Or there are ways to communicate it to your husband to prep his mind for it. Now say yeah try and error there be our them. Charlie, this way you are not imposing it on the person.
All right.
You are having conversation about it, and then if it works for you guys, it works. Don't get me wrong, you maybe more and I maybe more very, very traditional.
I thought it's spontaneous, no. Because if we are supposed to be spontaneous, I'm not.
Discuss it. Okay, I get it. But afterwards, after being spontaneous, I still believe that you need to find out if it was enjoyed. You don't assume, say, hey, in the night is
Nana mumu ye go ya uye Sese mu bibia. You was a pain. Ush.
Every cry a pain. And you need pleasure.
Okay.
If you have a pain, don't get us wrong. That is why communication is very, very vital.
Do we need to move faking, it's also making us feel so we are doing
sending different signals.
One day true.
But then we're supposed to deal with that, or what are we supposed to do?
And I think so. What she's saying is that after the doing has been done, you need to have conversation to find out.
Personally, I feel like and I hear this communication thing a lot, right? I feel like Vanessa saying, like with the kind of communications and like the amount of communications that our partners expect from us, right? Usually, like things like this, like the communication takes a long time. Like we also be like, kind of 30 minutes something. Then it brings something else, and then it brings something else, right? I'm not saying that communication is not good. I'm saying is that I've heard this not just from you, like from like different platforms and stuff like that. And always it's like the woman telling the man that man needs to communicate, right? And I've seen men, I have friends that like, I know guys that like likes to talk. Right, I've seen like talk to their partner, like in a way. So I mean sometimes to their partner, like I say, maybe couldn't crowd your cassette too much, like like stuff like that. If we are communicating, if we're supposed to communicate every single thing, and then something that's little as, like a new position in bed, I feel like we will spend all of our time just talking about.
We will communicate without doing anything.
There's a difference between talking and communicating.
I get it, right? But I'm saying, sir, I feel like because there are so many things that men go through, or men see, then we like, oh, like there is just no need to talk about it. And I'm not saying, sir, it's not important. I just feel like, sir, the emphasis that there is more life, like there is life outside of our family, right? We engage with so many people that are interconnected to our family as a nuclear family, or like all of that, and then friends and work, right? We only have 24 hours in a day. Out of that 24 hours, we sleep 6 or 8 hours out of it. Then we work 8 hours out. We eat, we take a shower, we have kids, whatever. Like I'm saying, sir, I'm not disagreeing with the communication part. I just feel like, sir, like there are certain things that to me,
our life will not end. It's gonna be
spontaneous.
Like men. Oh, okay. I'll just speak for me. Me personally, I love routines. Like me fast do call baby. One of my fast. Which is a shortcut. I mean, one man my fast. I don't see anything wrong with it. People see like a lot of things wrong with it. But that does not mean that I don't like change. I like change. Like I adjust to change. But I'm saying, sir, if you guys, not you guys, if most women or men are telling each other to be spontaneous, sir, right? And then after being spontaneous, you still have to communicate
the spontaneousness.
So I feel like it's a little bit too much.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is, because you mentioned about talking about everything, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but then there is only a little time.
There's no little time. Okay, so it's not, for me, it's not about time. It's about quality, right? You can have a 5 minutes conversation with your partner, and it is the best conversation you will ever have. It is not about the time that you have. It's about how well the two of you communicate, right? You know, if mokodam pemna 5 minutes pemna more to talk, just 5 minutes. It's not about time. It's about the quality of the time. How you make use of the little time you have. You can talk about so many things. Into no person just say because say, but then you have time to talk to friends.
But say no,
I have a question from a friend based on like communicate. Was I think said Irene editor way chat him right, and he's asking so he's a guy that like after those right saying like after an intimate moment, you know, first thing that he wants to do is get out of bed and then go take a shower.
Okay.
He's been married for 4 years. He's trying to change, but then, you know.
Because it's hard, Jenny. That's why he's trying to change.
Yeah, but then he can't. He's been married for 4 years.
But what is wrong with that though? Say we change where we are.
Or say very saying like so his wife is also like he's apparently watching and then they're asking, right? And I like the wife neka so she agrees to what Minya Baye can say. You know, it's
you need to talk.
You know.
Okay, say me change where we. Maybe free say after you know.
It is not only about your feeling.
Right.
I'm free, send me
But
free, send me free. It's not there when you get married.
Yenna hona o kind of. Also free say yenna ho.
Compromise. No.
That's the point. See why?
Yes.
Say,
we are trying to strike a balance between like that compromise.
Yeah, we have.
In 4 years, so there be a best sorry. What about how I feel?
Okay,
There
there
have to be a balance.
It's a new channel. Could you
The thing is to say, obetimi
Of course, and we do that. We do that all the time. See, Jeremy.
Yeah, no one said that. I don't.
Me, they will just try to say you child. I say we could just have. Who's gonna be changed? We might dream. Who say that? And then it's you who go follow.
Yeah, and see me, I think saying and I agree with you. I think say like we need to like strive a balance. But if you ask me to look at it, right, I feel like said the skill I'd say what's it like towards a man. Because I feel like said every problem that is in a marriage or in a relationship, no.
You blame me, man.
Yes.
I think we are the most cost of this test.
Yes.
The reason why I feel like we are the most cost of it, I say. But if you see the job, as well. Like, let me tell you. You the job as well. Say, only way you reach ho. Now, even biblically, there's a hierarchy. And the hierarchy is a one in your coupon if you know it. I shall say, to be BSC, it's not Mr. Jim, can't say be active. So, you bear man could do Diabado, or Bandi could do Diabado. So, you could buy or Fred Bearmano. So, I didn't have the share was some. And also, oh, bad, no, sir. Me Jimmy say me man who's what bad order. So God was trying to respect the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Right.
In this situation, you know what the other says. The best say who be hard. Say any you, say any you. So we have to put measures to make sure those things.
That's not work.
And I strongly believe say man, you pushy to understand the women. Because honestly, no, it looks like say I may be wrong, but it looks like say Oba hum bema none any jino hopefully say I can make every mistake in this world.
Yeah.
He's my leader. He gonna be alright. I think say the baby a feeling. So it is if that is the situation there, then why don't we lead and lead right?
Can we do that? Is that possible? Not the leadership part, but can we understand them? Like can we understand them? Like, can a man ever understand a woman? And I'm saying this because if you bring it down to so like then as in like then a person me yemma like as in like how do you want me to act, right? Which like I know most guys that like if you want to put on like an act so that their wives and women will be happy, right? And see ubi sound where like when there's like a conversation and then like you want to like get these things out and then probably like list them out and then maybe implement it as time goes on. And then like you usually make us say like something small. Like, okay, fine, but still list them out. Then like when you start listing them out, like come on, even God can't do this.
It's a whole pamphlet.
Yeah, even God can't do this.
Yeah, it's a whole pamphlet.
And to me, I'm just saying, sir, and I agree with you. I think so. We need to learn about them the more. Right. But I feel like it's like a never ending. Not
to
even,
understand them.
I feel like like
Not 100%.
for the most part, no, like they don't even know themselves. Or no about no. When him and see if you on them, when you're about on them, things everything is good. Like you give a quality time, you guys go out, you guys like you're doing everything. So okay, so idea we move nice no work yeah. Okay, so you enter down one work to if kitchen say no work like in your mind no, you think so okay like we
Nema here no yebano.
We yamano. So okay, say we are like you peer build on me like why in you know, right? And then she sees something else. And usually it's based on like what she's seeing around the environment. Not what she's seeing in her house. What she's seeing on social media, what she's seeing on like around like the environment. Say
I saw it there.
Our neighbor just bought his wife a Tesla. And I say my like your neighbor just opened the door for his wife. Oh, it's so cute. So I say. And see, I said every time we approach the goalpost has shifted. You're like
rules keep changing.
Yes. And see, I think sir, like if it was like very very simple, like most men would not have like these problems because men like most guys are willing to go like the whole way 9 yards. But I feel like sir, every time you edge closer, they move it further. Like they bring like something new. I would be out. Why you man that crowded that out? But then it's like time to do it again.
Check iPhone 15 yaba.
Yeah.
Till
See, I agree to some extent because I believe saying man kwa nipa nkasa untumi hu nipa nwie regardless of who the person is, and some of the reasons are our environment, how we were brought up, right? Exactly. Obi are different. How we were brought up. And now for phobia mo cry you associated with obi or so and I medical kind. Let's not take away maybe a mental health case manager and let's not take away the fact that we have narcissists among us. They way homogeneous different from the nipa ordinary obi on your narcissist edging. So all these things it makes it hard for you to understand nipa
a person.
Person. So what I say. Internet they agree. To me who konona nipa ne. Internet I believe say and on me initial submission I make say share nipa. Try as much as possible to establish new maybe, right? Who knew maybe about the person, the background is saying obi oha obi oha be maybe oha or your only child. Ne mama ma ye no ya pampa na say ye 25 ye ni say
that's hene
such a person
maybe ti akuja so do kata careful ti akuja to
such a person no to me fa no to obi oye hustler right obi so it's
brefoba
omo the way omadwen a different
right
obi ohun hia da obi oha onima ho kire nti sa ba ma we o ware na na dream, ne preferences, ne nyoma na ye different. It's I always say it boils down to partner na one ne wo hono. Knowing the background until we don't jump into marriage. I don't subscribe to sa ware na hu ne ocha no aware no. I don't. And I am also not saying say you see 10 years to know somebody.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is try and get as much information as possible and make your decision based on that. So if you say, over to me the one day I sign your man, that's you.
But I want to say, but the information, like the one that is collecting it, is up to the one that is revealing it, right?
you don't have to ask questions for somebody to review. Last time on my show, I said something about somebody telling me something. Or say, or call Beman fee, right? Or call you no near survey Beman. Beman on any and namon anyway, made for net. Ya survey Beman Adriane. Or tasty Adriane na or say, no, bisa one and where Adriane no. No, I kick Adriane no. Ade Adriane in yede. You don't have to tell me, say, me a very rude to me fearful. But I have to be observant. And in me seeing Sadi when a red flag for me, in the at the end of the day, no nipa no mo worry or the biya obano. Obani no aduane ma be ma ne fa share trash him because o see aduane na enye de because enye aduane a ope. What I say?
Enuma wu ana. Enuma wu ana. Obi o ha no yare o.
Na me cho sa abodan fo bebre hihye.
Say na mo say unim say ade a mo friend orgasm. 25% of women pay the benya bio.
Yeah.
E ma bebre so it was a problem.
Ma bebre nya ade so mbetumi ami akọ.
And I say, be so away. Okay, so with a red flag,
talented child, we ignore red flags a lot. Or say, I'm loving this. Hey, be so bonko mo could you ben or say what's up, Nana? Hey, Nana, you too. Why? Could you ben hi? Or say I second you, boss. No, say somebody like Kumasi. Maybe Tia Kunyasu to because I careful part. Everything you say, look at me use against you.
Court of law.
With a court of fine.
Court of fine. But what I say, that's why you, the man, should ask your woman if she is satisfied after sex. Because during the act, we can't discourage you. So we pretend a lot. Everybody, I could say the convo after the do is very important. It looks like Mike doesn't like the disturbance talking when doing the do. Okay. Let's say, but yeah, trying to know ourselves, no, because it seems that only based in that. Messia, me, no, my mind D 7% no to that. I'm pushing, and normally, yeah, me man need pushing. I'm pushing, Messia, I'm pushing. Then you are giving me some few informations. You are revealing a few information. It is sometimes okay, if you are on your verbal person, I mean watch it, the movement and whom you are acting differently. How am I? I'm making the right choice. Because at this point, the revealer, and my decision, my decision I'm making is based on that information that I have. It's information and wrong information. How do I go ahead? Or how do I make sure I'm making the right decision? Or spectator,
oh yeah, person don't take lead na me of me processing information.
I feel like the how is based on how serious you are with the person. Okay, we should be to say the okay, no person any bobra then.
Me me see him many John ho, and many John ho. Baba, me fa okwa me no we say yes, me no we be am me dey na hweso. Many John ho, o say me ma omre, but we are studying ourselves any ade. Dey say me ye bia na me.
Okay. So how do you know? Say nipa no information on the man. Ebi na me example. Nipa no shia ne nam for asene oni omokasa. Ni fie say one opportunity to even go to her house. Oni ne parents no how do they relate?
Okay.
Oni ne siblings how do they relate? Or your bema na wo oba we shia no na bema no ne nsemo te say. Ni sika yie te say. Because nipa changes out. Senior all yena woo na we feel say hey me de odom yo.
But the so chat bill na to so obi to pretend you.
Enti na me.
Say me mesia o me pese bi twa adwuma no keke.
Yes.
Me
Enti
waro.
no obetimi aye bibia ma me. But what about the others na around him no? Na hair no.
Obetimi kwa mo feel.
Obi betumi de da from hey odo yewu hey ma de nyina.
Eni omo ye pa.
What ma de nyina hey but manisha be my frana mo binya na de. Eh den kwa sasem na wudi ne sa. And you think you are so special.
Oh, you're different.
When you're different Onya ni ria obehu the real person. And so make us ushia obia. It is not only about asking questions and getting the right answers. It's about observing. And it's about opening your intuition, opening your inhunumu. To make it
Garlic in it, bitter leaf. But we are punches out. As
I said, as Christians, we have to have you have to have a discernment spirit to be able to tell. Say we need to have that discernment. The same way we share nipana be open. So I'm say why you serious up so about bradia? Why you ready? Why? Because the thing is, why you ready? No, there is no guarantee. Say nipana we share no, so I ready. And to say what's not them? No, I list it. Me dem me pebema or me pebema ye tuntum.
Only 25% of men are 6 feet.
Thank you.
And above.
Thank you. Me dem me pebema ye say bemo ye say bemo ye say. Have you sat down to check yourself? Say who you be spec ana. So as I say, who what why your list who spec in ye? Bema no we share no now. If you say where am spec? Are you his spec? Into una why you serious now? Who kwa penny pano na say no. Nipa no, are you serious with you, Anna? Because I believe, say, who you serious? Why you serious? You want to settle down? That's what could show be honest. Why you serious? Or so settle down? What? A casa. What I say? If you are so be
to be bow, what I'm going to him. Me manage on some water. And then no long story. Be if you say what did you mean? When you are catching I mean,
my first question maybe some. I don't know who you.
Oh, some no one and take a cry, you know. My hair one year near my the way I see to told near my people bow born a home one day, people bow buade, people bow, all values. No, you know, yes, or yes. So these are tense. Yes, so I never in our to me. Me show me line and I'm here lie that. You can't see it here.
It is left for me to also think.
It be me who say me catch her say, see, na me de me. But I'll free say we need you. I mean, that's okay. I'll take my loss and move on. Are these women that we have going to be open up and say, oh, we be a manager? And I say, because maybe breakers said, me feeling bad, that's why I'm mobile. And maybe breakers has, TV that me feeling is sad, but as I share the way I will see Pema 7, the way I will see Yenny and my mom and that, as I mean saying no to him, no. So I'm just say, are these women going to be able to? Because I mean, power. What the machine, mama say, cry. On them, and my bit me about it before that, no. Oh, we be the sunny day, no. So, since I was in taking lead over.
I think and one hour kind of being observant and paying attention to the surroundings, no. Because sometimes, no, see, I can say you who. That spec nana say you fall in love nesana aya being observant na say odona kata iniso kakra we just have to pay much attention to our surroundings and then being observant.
Okay.
Yeah. And
maybe problem.
Okay.
Maybe problem they say match no say bibia. Match no.
Initial one.
Yeah. Say bibia because say ukuya obi. U feel it. Child, but that whole go so that whole so. You may take so pretty pala. To say if I say beer, to say if I say beer, all out here, I say a man be brave. My man in trade money, ye momu, a home so. On the channel. The Hun Sanan. The Hun Sanan, the Unma the Crocra. On the aqua week, I say, in the talking stages that our mark with a bachelor. Ucha bachelor, the who also. It changes dynamics, Nina. And you might be bright as a shadow. To be sure. Okay. If that is the situation, back to the initial question that was out. My best year, I know what Casa says, my tree be a macho. Ubet me a catch and say, Bema, yes, Meso many would a 2 and a more cacra. But we shed the way also your name, and yard a bebuame. And mat be casa.
A bimo becca.
But you shed the general rule.
The general rule. So me percentage wise, maybe 60% enka, 40% beka. Let me make it clear. Say, me banner text me or someone me smile.
Only say okay serious. Share. So I cannot see I call I'm
smiling. I want me smile. Okay, let me smile. So let me point point out that your ma bebre or wa. Omo quote and unquote. I stand to be corrected. A mere margin. Sounds near one may be or more margin.
Oh, that's true.
The way I may be dreaming. There may be jeans. The way our baby there may be a dream or baby.
Vice versa.
Exactly. Depending on how we were brought up and a lot of different factors. So I would say 60% of women will not say, for the reason now, okay, can I be or her any mobile, share bear now, be or her on person be hurting feelings, or be or her out of frustration, me to home young worry, me to home age and I mean dear tracer, or be or her, a sika or her, and I mean dear tree, or be or her, any fear, or more prominent people, my men call forgetting say our arena and yet you need cap of years for it. A year forever. You know, and now I really soon yes, I one day now I share wedding I go for better for worse. And now wash kinte na ya betwa mu echa machuchu manim no. That is not the marriage. The marriage starts from that very day no onwards, right? So if you don't understand, say our real is after sa all the glam. Bibia tie fi when you scale ni nyina bubu no. That is where the marriage starts. When who ni sa dia. Ubeka say oh when I mean the sa. Because mind you, nipa now no shaky or yema or nice shaky you know. Then there's coming a time on to me because nipa nyini yare wo ho ato yenchem wo things happen.
Be able to see.
Be able to see. It is on your money see then what? Ask yourself then what? Into I don't know umpe. Anything I initially make us be or be funny sa. Or be kwa kodru baby area no. I feel no say send me a mistake. Say this is my interest.
But we have greater number of women making this. These mistakes.
Yeah, I think it's
how do we get women to be honest with themselves? Because I don't because me feel say a man be brain no. On from day one say bema we. Many you know. But a person will eat the cake and still have it.
Yeah.
Also, the Biana Mekassim say, Obana give you access. So, Obana give you access or whatever I can be. I buy Babasum.
Right.
Oh. It is all give you access. We are now. Wama then I saw me demuno. And then I do maybe Omocase maybe it is a Sebi enubone. Ucha kaka. Now so demuno. Near Cassie Jaya. Also need Jaya.
Yeah.
It's addiction.
That's the point. I didn't own him from day one. So, all of a sudden, you want to take it away. And then the problem, I do maybe it me exceeded to, abuse. Oh, Sunday, my name. It made me point. They say, I don't know, yeah, man, when you're honest with us, Charlie. Me the first time me free say when it comes to, am I very honest? It's easy for a woman to say no.
No, baby.
But as I'm growing, I'm beginning to say no. They actually lie the most when it comes to Sadia. No than one about bishop. There was a woman that was telling me, say, the entire way and say, no, person wedding.
Send American desperation.
But you look at it, you take this man, you make this man all his life. Like, maybe beer will be on you based on it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's wickedness, though, if you ask me. Desperation. So, like I said, people have different reasons why they would want to stick with it. Right? Obi or her. Yeah, different reasons. Obi or make us say obi cry when ya be maybe or see you send you tibia me pelsa. But then on one pe be man. But or see you and I mean DHA after all our families are.
Because we don't hold them accountable. Like there is no accountability for most friends.
Because I have discovered deception power.
It is.
Oh yeah, but and I bet you said
it by law you can sue.
As
you can sue somebody.
So me sue say.
Obi deceive you John somebody.
So we don't use what you. Walk aside legally. Situation we know.
Why you make us say fear I was see man car after man and this is cow.
Ghana pride emrana che say o are ubia eye ade a obeto ye bia no onka ho.
Yeah.
Te bia obeware me na my revolt to dada.
Oba na nka ho.
Oga ho. Crowad here. Crowad here. Yeah, chim.
I know it.
Yeah,
The system was built on variance in mind. See, it's
me looking at this, you know, me all fairness.
I think, say, when you were talking, something was just, running through my head. Education, right? Let's start a fee, young girl, child. So penny be share, right? Oh, bad girl. This is the time. We need to instill confidence in our children. We need to let girls know, anatomy, right? They need to understand themselves physically, emotionally. They need to be able to interpret what their emotions are, what they are thinking. See, some of these things may lead to depression. Obi on tenning wasi, and also it may lead to obi or say your bar, and so not in natural fact or a bema because on tenning wasi. So I believe. Why I believe, sir, right from the onset, we need to start educating our girl child, instill some, discipline, instill some confidence in them, talk to them most, let them understand, say, oba nimne ho. Said the big Mike in your initial submission now, say, a man we don't even know ourselves.
Do they want to know themselves?
First, not the yes, of course. Be a person
you're sure about that?
Because a lot of women are discovering themselves. And I'm
I disagree.
And I'm a lot of women are beginning to share. Our society was built for us to understand, say, the dignity of a woman, and I say the virtue of a woman. For somebody to be called a virtuous woman, the woman should be able to endure, including endure abuse.
I disagree.
So that is how the society, that is per my research, that is how our society, our tradition, and it's not first, you see girl child, kitchen. But Sisiano, a kitchen. Why are we not sticking to the old Mantina kitchen, Memanku school? Because in your mess, things are changing. And whilst
as I know, so like women have learned about themselves, right? And part of learning about themselves, has given them what I interpreted from what you said, has given them certain kind of freedom that they didn't have before. Like freedom, like the girl child can go to school, all of that. Yeah, in fact, the girl child didn't mention, right? And then the women that, because I know few ladies that got divorced because they say so, they found themselves, right? And then because they did, now they divorced, right? And I'm just making a scenario here. So if I was that lady, and then I learned about myself, now I know me, right? And then I got divorced. I wouldn't want any property. 1, 2. How does it make you better? Because now and most of them are out there on social media trying to get into relationship again, right?
So you do understand me say discovering ourselves now has led to a lot of these divorces.
Yeah, but I think so.
I don't think it's discovering. So okay, say discover there. Next I didn't know and a hinter and I think that's what you're trying to say.
I think so. What I think is necessary discovering a banana or finding herself not. It brings competition in the marriage.
I think it's false narrative, though.
Sure.
I don't think it's discovery.
Every woman is a queen.
Every woman, and that has been society ever since.
How many of women know that?
But what I'm saying is,
how many men even know they are kings?
But
how many women know they are queens?
Okay,
it's there. But that is what I'm saying. Said discovering, like you rightly said,
so,
it's there. But then it's hidden because of enyoma bebre factors bebre, including.
As someone kind, I was gonna say anti-asia.
Also, it brings competition.
It brings competition. That's what leads a lot of,
Man, this is how I see it. I think we have entered into an era that we want to undo what was set up. Because culture suffers modification. As a mere there will be modification.
Right.
But what we are experiencing right now, and this is my views. I believe there is a target on men that there's an organization called feminism that is
Misogynism.
that is creating a false narrative for young women to believe, say, yeah, the women see and they have to find their voice. That is what I think. Because maybe they say that organization is labeled as terrorism. Because a lot of women have bought into this ideology of false narrative and have believed, say, men are enemies.
What are some of the false narrative? Yeah,
that men and women are the same. What men can do, women can do better.
Yeah.
These are false narratives that these organizations are pushing after. Young people sit down and say, what men can do, women can do better.
I think so.
What I say? But biologically, we are not the same. Chemically, we are not the same.
We are not. That I agree with you.
It is
But
if we are not the same, now you're competing on the same tenor. Will you think it's going to happen?
I don't see it as competition.
Okay.
If you ask me, I agree. We are not the same. Of course, physically we are not. The way we think, the way we
Mentally, everything.
Yes, we are not the same. But it is like waking up in the morning and seeing an inspirational message on social media. It is there to inspire you. It is not there for you to basically follow it just as it's been written. It depends on you.
But what if it becomes institutionalized? Because when you go to the universities, all the liberal sciences is what they are teaching.
Their teaching say women are the same.
No. Their teaching say we should
are the
fight.
same.
We should fight for the same goals. Yeah. Like a woman shouldn't sit back for the man to move.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's supposed to be. Why should a woman sit home for a man to go to work and come back home?
Why shouldn't a woman do that?
Why should she do
Why
that?
shouldn't a woman do that?
So what's the right way?
We should balance it.
How?
Hey.
Because
Some balance area is the problem, yo.
Yeah, so like once balance not kind, and in some ways, right? They say balance, and we're like, okay, let's balance it, right? And then she's going to work. I'm going to work. I'm like, okay, fine. Right here, 2,000. Make your light, make your way. You're like, oh, we are Bama. So like, how do we balance it?
So the balance it's not American because who is taking care of the children, who is watching home, which naturally women are homemakers, right? So the balance I'm saying, I don't believe women should stay home. Me, Debbie, I can say I don't subscribe to women not working. Oba shouldn't solely depend on Nikun. Work. But Bema be 24 hours. At least find you a 12 hours job. That way you can have time for other stuff. And I also believe Bema shouldn't even work that much because if entiase or de kakraba we de kakraba and yes ya chimbe pepe and it no
that is balance.
That's okay. Yeah, balance.
I did it balance kakra. Imbalance kakra.
What's that?
Because they are Bema.
Of course.
Because a jume be or anything Obama bo ba a big deal. Obabo Bema.
And so maso bro mema sene mema boma.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, sister, check. American sociology, let's check this here.
They'll be okay. Like they'll pick one person that they've seen. Only one person. One. Like, that's okay. Assume they see anyone.
So we so. What body you shima suba dey so. Asubo.
Maybe our boo because some person betonsa because that is ubu, right? All respective women.
This is
Because
because
that's a
problem. Boom boom ba is a problem. Boom boom ba is a, so like what should we do?
So sis,
walk away.
so sis, this is
Walk
what
away.
this is what I
That's what
look
we are
at.
doing right now.
Do it.
That's what we are doing right now. In balance, oh,
And have
that time,
conversation
Bob.
afterwards.
and look at that.
And keep having conversation afterwards.
Oh yeah,
Hey, I love conversation. We communicate.
communication. Oh, they will bring their own topic. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, balance. Okay, yeah, balance it. So I've quite much 12 hours. Miss 12 hours. You see, can chair be with Miss Davy. Like
I think something is actually wrong with the society we live in. And you're an animal, nyansa bruta. Or the air you fight yen, in what you account for. Yemfa, ya can society and where we are. Yes, there was some certain things that was happening in that society. I was purely wrong. But the way I almost said the social order, I think they were right. Bema one naturally ewa honde sene. And mema nye multitaskers. It is option fear juma ankasa na e multitask de de. Uja be say last be you paid or so we share or the analysis so lots be. Nyame kwankanye ade na e wo fie ho la. The fie ho nyina hye. Your attention span, or the upper even chromo share, or more ADHD, a ma and a mema, how many ADHD? A mema. Your attention span, a get to be. It's yem penny for new society, no, no. And Crawford, could I want them. I didn't answer, I said I'm faster. Yema way mono, and yen to toy. It is a who you feel, Crana. I sent to the sway and answer you, Kubusabroa. Yeah. Because that's the depository of knowledge. Oh, much share. Sani many nyina say oba ne ntena fie onye fie ade onhwe ne yere onhwe ne kunu ene ne mma be ma no fa otikodom ne koye adwuma ye de efe bra fie okay udi sikari be fie no ntre say sikari ya audio your families be work they make sure say every end of the year be uti ayereka. Yeah, wasn't that a practice that was going on back uti ayereka e bia afi ye ti kokko ye bibia no nya say me the way I say o se da call you go bu akonta enti o so die ni ana achede so a e ka ho ni for the year oba na ye ade ama ne kunu ni tirimu fan na o ye de onim se ye bobra ye hwe ye ma ye o mototo sa system ni na all of a sudden when we hit the 1960s no and the movement started. No, it is wrong that things have to be this way. It's wrong that things have to be this way
because and Nyoma wasn't going on, so now because we see families be more. You cheer baneka, you say. What about other families?
But that
they got to a time, right? They got to a time. These same women were not being recognized. They were not being given what they deserve. Because to me in Jamie will fear, right? To do the order entity, and then you are out there doing your not at the end of the day, meaning what is going on with your money. Right? I'm not benefiting as I am supposed to. You say your society and a lot of people think say even staying home and taking care of children. We are quite before.
No, it's never true.
Mr. Ibu, an example is Mr. Ibu's wife. When Mr. Ibu was in his prime days as an actor, because he was always out there, right? So the woman was home taking care of their 4 children. When Mr. Ibu Ejuma Crambo, and I said, "Bah, from now he wasn't making money," or associated with that lady, I don't know if you've seen videos of the lady calling Mr. Ibu's wife a lazy woman because she doesn't work. They be out to fear. But what are you doing?
But
forgetting said taking care of the children when this woman is asking for money to pay bills.
Also, Okase say they will be fear, you know.
Say will be fear. It's just into America says send stay submission or see fear be more cry to yama. Awesome. Right? And so and then into America say what about other houses? So to me, I believe say due to the other happenings on the other side, on the flip side, which was depressing a lot of women, which was, abusing.
But of course, but abused more.
say like
In any olden days, they buy abuse.
olden days.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Hell no.
Yes.
To the nana.
Yes. In the olden days, because it was not talked about. And phone saba, social media, there's so many avenues for people to express themselves. That's why we are hearing these things. That's why we are seeing these things. Back then, it wasn't like that.
And because
When
of
it
that,
happened-
it's free say.
When it happened, and back then, because women were behind, now crowd was saying why.
Yeah, yeah.
But even in
There
this
was-
situation,
there
the
was-
women are still behind. Even in
We
this
are
society.
behind
Think
because
that we are
even the
empowering them,
Bible, yes.
Empowering
Maybe there's a penny. The only time me, I agree. Say I don't think say it's supposed to be like that. But I believe say Alberta can say me last week or say reaction. Only what down for crowd or there ma competition by worry. Only what down for keke crowd or not what down for ne koso. And now who koso no what down for ne koso. There is a jealousy.
Of
And I said
course.
there's jealousy.
And nature.
You need to drag people with you.
What
right?
if the person don't want to follow?
And they don't want to lie.
But it becomes another problem for the
But
man.
now a lot
It
of
becomes
women-
another problem
a
for the
lot of
man.
Women want to follow.
Share.
Bring
Sis.
your woman with you.
No,
right?
no. And most men do that. So bring a woman along with you, it doesn't mean say.
One bed you, one bed now. So
Most,
I don't
no,
agree with
most
that.
men, most men, a juma or more year, because of no moment.
And you're more penafo.
Which media account? But me and say
Oh, Pastor Saul.
media and say what can like bring them along, right? And most men are willing to do that, right? Then say and the most men also like do this assessment of their wives and partners, and then in their mind they think so. I want to say me a bit my idea with, right?
Why would you want to think like
Per his judgment, the same way I'm more judging, and second, I say yes, I do. No? Per his judgment, we all doing so. And then I can say, oh, because we did air press away, let me bring her along. And then when they come, like wanting to do something and actually doing it, two different things.
Of course.
So what I was until like, oh, like because I mean the fact that you as my wife, you think so, me my comedy master want to come, it's a problem. How?
and I make kind of
We live in the same
we
house.
are what
shouldn't be
we are.
that, there
Yes.
shouldn't be competition in marriage.
Yeah,
Send
but
one
now
and
there is because of like that empowerment,
Yes.
which me
energy.
personally
Because
I'm a
all
part of empowering.
women.
So I
we
say
need to empower women, but now
To do what?
There
empower them to do what?
To support
be-
their
to be confident in themselves. Anything I make a girl child, you know.
Maybe
Make a girl child. And the submission I was making, I didn't finish.
Okay.
Now may come and I basis to say yeah man no
Etiti yemu no.
But now may come basis to say so when you need that and you too late, right? You need to search down the any can obi nim your pet obi or her be so be a favorite color day. I know, yes, maybe only favorite color, but a lot of women have, right?
I do have.
Maybe, sir, you do have, and I'm saying, say, in every
and you
rule there
blue
are
bear
exceptions.
black.
In every rule there are exceptions, right? But
Meme kotokona. Kotokona.
red. Okay, now I know. But or baby or onim color or pet, onim edjane cra or pet. Mimi say honestly, minimum edjane am pet, right? Mene bema or what? The obedi na midi.
A love. It's how you express love.
That's
But
yeah.
is it wrong though?
It's not.
It's
beautiful.
to some extent.
No, it's
It's
beautiful.
the bema ni
Me
ni wa
about like
uni
me and kind of make say like uni me
Now,
jani
What's
Me say like the fact said you know at a certain age as a woman like uni me jani like as like a favorite food no. I don't see anything wrong with
There's
it.
nothing wrong with that.
The same thing with colors. I don't see anything wrong
There's
with it.
nothing wrong. That was just the surface. Just
Okay, and see, like what is gonna help a grown up who you think said that's not know herself? Like what does she need to know? Like what about her that she couldn't learn? And I said nobody taught her from the time that she was born to her adulthood. Like
confidence.
how do you teach that?
Confidence. Your mom be very very they feel inferior. They feel very very.
Could
inferior.
that be based on how they were raised?
Some.
Okay.
Yes. Some.
I know you're the
A lot
papa.
of, yeah, a lot of women
know you're the papa ejuma. I'm serious.
Unim say no so ntina. Most of these women are being abused.
Because
Okoshia or be maybe because oni sa or what that inferior no. My be maybe can say ohwenfo. If you say I mean especially say be our inferior about the looks if you say me share me nyame. What I say in actual fact be maybe sa be man no should be cry no na asem o kan no. Asem e da na no.
So baby a hof. But oh baby,
no, it's just an example. Now.
But what I'm saying is, oh baby, a hof. It's a baby, no. Oh sure, baby, you can't say the hof. Oh, try to drop.
The same way the same.
What's the what up?
You can't say I will be a hof, like baby, be a hof. You know.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, sir, in some year, kind of right. It's neither the man or the woman's fault, right? But then it depends on the environment and also like the family that each person is coming from, right? Kumasika Sasim said most of these problems that we are facing now is because most women give access to sex, right? And then they ended up becoming single parent. Most of them, some of them were tricked.
Unfortunately,
some of them were not.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But then the common thing that we know is that most of these problems are from that. Right. I was raised by a single mother for some time, and then at one point I was not raised by anybody, by my aunts. I'm saying that people would treat you the way they want to treat you, no matter what. Like whether your auntie, whether your mom, whether your father. Like there are people that live with their both parents, and then they still get abused.
Right.
Right.
From both angles.
So it does not really matter. What matters is that you make up your mind, and nobody can do it for you. Nobody, whether you are weak-minded or not.
Yourself,
yeah,
paying attention to your body, reading books. There's so many
people
ways.
don't like reading.
I know they say I can't watch them. Maybe say I've made it. They say every week you be a book back or down.
Yeah, you get a lot of knowledge from.
Exactly.
From
and see, I'm saying is like we cannot blame a man or a woman for like these issues. We just gotta learn. Like people just gotta learn. And see, like, but part of learning does not mean so. Remember that we see 10 years ago, not gonna say yes. On your ocean. After you think so, you've learned and then you're better. And see, uja here.
Oh no, it shouldn't be like that.
But that's what it is right now.
Because see, the sad thing is,
movement to know.
See, the sad thing is when you want to, to say the oka say yensuyen. How many of yensuyan women are supported by their husbands to suya? But at the end of the day, Beman be as competition.
But the thing is, if you want to learn something, like I don't have to tell you to learn that.
No, but me kasa the support.
To see if I say be a me who say, beba. To see if I say be a me yere no.
Yeah.
Me who say ola kewa.
I
may even be wrong. Two books from baby, you need to start reading certain things. That's all bad. I say, as a husband, no, how do I approach this situation that it looks like I'm trying to look down upon the woman? Because it be more accepted the position that they are in. So this is me. This is me. Me so me free say, this is my woman. I want to grow with her. Then person me jina ha na me yiri jina ha. Enti yenko me kwa me books. Don't I recommend books for you all the time?
Yeah.
Because me person me ekɔ no me ne mo na ekɔ.
That's right.
Eti the book we kan me kan book we good o. Also the kan bi. Book we good o. Also the kan bi. Me the ma me yira oh ne o be kan. Oh when remember books ba. Remember books. Eti the bi na kan. The man on kan. Babe, esa o kan o. The man on kan. Now no my tone of persuading
it's going to change.
It's going to change.
Right.
Babe. It's all kind because honestly, you are lacking on certain things. What's all say? Like, ain't you know? They say also okay. Do you remember when I say, it told me or more compare me, and these are conversations that I've had with people. They say it all the time.
Yeah.
So now I don't know how. Say I'm in a big mic and yo, you need to read this book.
That's it.
The catch it, I don't know because yo, I'm the book with them, bro. On them there. That's all kind book no. Because I don't want a situation where baby maybe me here backup. Na my cat na my partner I mean na muntu me back me in any form. On the child. it's easier for me to communicate with Bema on Bema. Minim level I'm qua ebehano. And I'm nim level I'm qua ehano. Unfortunately, no, you nim level I qua ehama. You being a woman, a quiet ben ebe fast why this communication. Una de biaka communication. Oba ne nkoka se me pese me de e ma afoforo compare no. Me pese you know how sometimes you guys think. Help me on that.
Example now my about reading. No, ebia na says no biani the way I osua because me say no, I'm not good at reading, but I'm a visual learner, and I like to do it too. Into no, I like doing. Into say ebia reading no na on part. You see, and we have a lot of resources are more audio, whatever. Or bet me I listen rather than reading.
That's right.
Into no, if you bring that option, so that's all boycott here. Try another way. Oh, maybe more one they will act it as a movie. See, because right now Harry Potter will be in a book. They have it in a movie form. So you have to just try other revenues for her to pick it up. Anya dear turning in and back be woman a working for her. So I think that one should be
okay. So what you are saying is that the man should find other avenues to make sure say obinya the ebefete obano.
Yes.
Okay, it is say me the book be aba. The main book me makanya me ni aje ho pai The Richest Man from Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a really nice book. It shows you how to negotiate. It shows you how to treat people. It shows you how to be a good citizen. Like every ABA twist be a book here who movie my book it's a hard copy book.
Yeah.
From the 16th century. Or him it's all kind of me.
And then I can't book no more.
But me I can't book no. Also
Thank you.
experiences. So maybe say my wife. Maybe a very conversational person. It's there be my wife. What I do is say, "Bisua bibi ati say na ya tena ha yedi nkomo say." Me kwa. Okay, so we're having conversation. Sister, you can't say me say, but na me the all can I say. Now me try to get on also mind. That is how this is me. My present book with you. Also, we are say can be a compromise. My present book with you. My goal me say me pese okay. Right? So that is my goal. To get knowledge and then go. Okay, it be a mood na me de ma no. Te say the sister can. Mood nenye. And I say emfama. I don't know want to be suggested. Oh, okay. Maybe I say omo audio book ho dey. And I umpe audio book no mo nye dey. Emfama me. Instead of say we the book no who say go na hu na me. I want for break as I say over 100 pages book ah. Na hu na am. I don't know. On father option ema. Because me the ba na one can be I know what ato. Then I realize say me the man on kind. Sometimes it's hard for a man to have the patience say or like I say me kwa hwehwe audible the ide abro adinti na then say audible no me the ba beti on the channel
Kasa no can sembi na me can me stop it right there because be na me refi
already
man sure them try and me be no so on say you spoke about also ukofia on your wife because you are a very very conversational person. I believe that's how communication should.
Of course.
Right? So you find say pay book and I will read the book. Have you sat down to think about and I said to talk to your wife if she's also a book person? There's so many ways somebody can grow with you without doing what you are doing. Right? Pull the person along by finding out their strengths and their weaknesses. And it all brings me to communication. Right? Obi oha and I'm making onim onapokre because onim ne strength, but you can point it out to her in a very nice conversation. To say I'm making be a complex granny at the identity because onim say, hey, we a good waho. You can point it out to the person. It all boils down to communication. Who the book aba? Nipa no read it. Ebika me read it on cranny to me nyahu me read it. Enya ne strength ne ho. Enya ne like any book. Find out. Say.
But you see, na any problem no. So I find out. Na any problem. Okay. So maybe point I say I think this is also conversation. my ba, but the book I was a babe, my kind of book be come on, J. Now so can't be. Say book and you liar. I don't know who's to be communicate. Say, babe, me here. You say we had audio book with the baby. Me met me have a channel studio ha. No me read it book no. No me record them there, bro. If that's what you want. Meet me have a channel record book no. Nam there, bro.
Yes. Saying no.
What it?
Lack of
me believe say communicate.
Communication. It works on both ways. So, I say, man is not communicating with them. It
works
on both ways.
Me the all can I say pa. Me come from a man.
Yeah, communicate because won't pay.
That's it.
Into no. No finding out what works for you. Now say obi a bank manager. They return fish because you business-minded woman. That is a big class. Ika obane di befi na so cha ni kunu ne bosomi aketu.
Say bank manager who is security.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is security.
Obane fish na oton. She sees money every day.
Yeah.
Osan so kran ya fish befi be aduane ma wodi. Into to make us all your bank manager intino. Who there as a corporate person no. Bibia should be corporate. No. On only day a business into no watch ebia be ma bit me and send the fish no. Pempene mano. As I say, or to Jomo ne be a reaction Jiko store. No on turn a fish.
So I think that issue no, is more on the side of the woman than the man. No. Because remember bit me kuta PhD oba school them rather. It's easy for a man to do that. Naturally, it's not easy for a woman to do that. On them channel. Me point in communication na dey na business in the answer. Ye nyina ye be susu say nke ye kunu mudru baabi a nke ye pe. Ye yire mudru baabi a nke ye pe. But me nya ba me ko me pese me yire because that disconnect na ba yentem no. E ho na wo. E ho na wo. Because me common nyina serious conversations.
Yeah.
About how we are going to make sure this work. How we are going to make sure this work. How we are going to make sure this work. It is a bishia. Asadwa. That's adwa. Me kaya that's me kaya that's what. Na me befi.
Match made in heaven.
Na me be yere kasa. Na bia me ka chale ne pa nkomo bia ne yedi no adwuma mpa. Oh, me kaya na asadwa hu say na me yere to one Asantua. Oh, Asantua, new girl, yeah. Like, me can be to me who know the exact thing, and people are attracted that way. Oh, I feel now we never say. It is the okwa Asantua and the bonko. People na me bana me ne wudi nkoma. Ebia me ka konso no so ka fish. Oh, ka fish, you know. Me ka konso. It's like there's many umi no. Bibia ni wa. It will do home come. And me go am free say be ya bit we bridge a gap and say you find hobbies together. Things that you and I can do. What could you for Asantua? Asantua let's say Oba be chire me say. Because and now who Asantua free say.
You talk about Asantua, it shouldn't be that way.
Always be don't bring that Asantua name in the conversation.
Once in a while be na Asantua be my.
But okay, say
if you keep stressing on the fact that Asantua is understandable, understand.
But someone can and put it more.
Yeah, the member wants and be.
Yeah, like on for Bema, like on boss Bema di. Well, bought like Ejuma Kwan Sabema no kone. Like but on board in Sabema. Like so maybe my workmates.
Nancy arrested Basu. Nancy arrested Basu. Charlie arrested Basu. The biari to be arrested and they say it's so what free arrested no. I you soon to be 150 back, 180 back. Would you imagine say, oh, this is scale womb, oh, baby believe you say, or baby up said you could.
Oh yeah.
Baby believe you say, or baby up. Yeah. And I believe say baby also percent it live you good. Yeah. Oh. It's sad disconnect now by in term we not having things that we are.
I think it's more of like, you know, identifying the root cause of the problem, right?
Right.
Things are very time machine driving. That machine driving we like Benjamin Lines and I'm driving. I couldn't teach my wife how
oh God.
Like how to drive.
Oh God. Right.
Tell
me about it.
I felt like if I tried it more than 3 times, like maybe my no, it's not. No, because as much as kind of like we think so because they are close to us and they think at the same level as us, right?
Which is wrong. Yeah.
Which is wrong. And see, I realize
But that's the reality.
that is the reality.
Yeah.
But then, on the events, Ninya Ketwa called driving, no, there is somebody in the car. And I thought so like she did good. Because she was trying to live up to my expectation, and I was also expecting her to leave
Not
at a
pressure, woman.
exactly right. The friends, I use that as a case study, and I make guys going forward. The conversation is, what do you want to do?
Right.
Okay, I want to. And see, that's where I want you to be specific, right?
So I don't impose mine on you.
Exactly.
Right.
And see, I count down to your level. What do you want to do? This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And then me come the account. I go myself and do the research for you. If you do this and then do that, so you can achieve what you want to achieve.
Beautiful.
Yes, but as much now the problem is implementation, right? But the idea about there is a roadmap on how to achieve what you said you want to achieve, and I'm backing you, right? Resources that you want, I have provided and everything. Now I need you to implement it. And see, me thinking that I'm a good husband, hey, I didn't withdraw. Try us, yeah.
Pressure, man.
That's a problem. Try us.
You sure you can.
You sure you can. That's a problem. Try us. And see, as some of my friends come say kind of like I understand them. Like and now the thing say yeah we are monsters. I'm saying like baby yeah it's not but honestly.
Also so baby son maybe or slow learner.
Me men are better caretakers of kids than Mba.
What are you talking about?
It's
Starts it
online.
all. Starts it all. Starts it all. Starts it all.
Forbes magazine account.
Forbes. No, starts. Starts it all. Starts it all.
They say Forbes now. And say, I'm gonna say, Mba like. Exactly.
The thing is, men raise kids better than women. Women are more empathy and maternal. Men are patrol and control with discipline.
Children shouldn't be raised only based on MMA discipline. It should be balanced.
Which balance are you looking for?
Who say my empathetic?
But they don't. But
how many
women
children are even raised by men?
And that's why now men are fighting. A primary. That's how. Example about it. What example? You made it this week.
It's not what I say. It's friends. They be on me cover na me bisa. Me so I'm thinking so. You won't think so. My show when that me sir. So I say it's me but maybe like ain't a withdraw. And yes, me them not my fact. What is this? What is define this? Nah. And like you like withdraw him. And just me and that's a problem.
And they will use the DNA sweater.
Who say I didn't know? Who say I didn't know? Say I didn't say they expect you to work on. May they say the man who say
an assignment, man.
No.
Work on their basis.
On their basis. May me say the man who we are say 11 years of marriage. My experience at men who say just allow yourself to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Anna, me believe we say regardless of what we do, no. I say me irritate say me pen the best interest at heart.
Right.
Yeah. And I say on also say me so say up be best interest.
Yeah.
Just sometimes the way we communicate those. No.
It's different.
To say be me kwa hu ibi way. Oh, obi chale baby. The brand that we are building. I don't want it to go this
That's right.
trend. Oh, they try they brand. Oh, but it's not bullshit. But you are right. 100%. I can also take it. Say, woman, why are you putting pressure on me? I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Okay, and then when I go that route with her, okay, yeah. I think the moment the woman makes a mind like that, the page that and say, Obeba.
You're on your own.
It's the same, but device say, oh, you're wrong, okay, but
yeah.
Okay. Olwa be huru no asabe ka say okay.
Yeah.
I think that
because like you said, we should be allowed to make mistakes because
But
nobody
I
should
think
be
so.
held.
What most men and like most guys are looking for is like say be when I also be say right, they're just looking for consistency on like what you said that you were going to do right. So if I say be I was so say I'm backing you with me band there. Oh yeah, what should I be who say oh yeah the following me I didn't know and then me quiet. 3 days later, you're not crying. Then I ask you, like, what was the reason why you're not crying? Like, there's no, like, legit reason. If there's a reason, you tell me. I'm calling say. And see, I mean, you stuff for
because me busase be ya kwan me fa so aboa.
Exactly, but then they don't, like, see it that way. On also going to say, be our man some unnecessary way pressure be. But also know, like, you wanted to do well. And that's the reason why. And see, I think so.
So you see, change and it starts from you. It starts from within. You know, in as much as you want somebody to do better, you want to change somebody, you want to do this. Is that what they want? Ask them. There are women that still want to be, you know, housewives, that still want to, you know, be those women that I can't be Quincy. There are women that still want to be like that, even in this modern age where jeans shorts and honey, you know.
Ope pillowcase padra.
Pillowcase in the end.
Pillowcase.
Obabo. Oh, got that pillowcase. Souvenir now.
See, so sanity here that I saw this on social media. I was saddened. Like I could literally feel tears in my eyes. Not Nigeria. It happened in Nigeria. Mami phobia or market. It's a melku. And I almost discuss say uko to say obema any unia ba unia ba netio. Na say obema uko to say ukunu any unia ba na and I say ochi omo have your affair. How do you handle it?
Tell me bema.
Now I bet to say we na obana find out say and now I bet you say one ni nua ba e have affair.
Obana bet you how would me handle it?
How would Obana handle it? No matter.
So at this point they will be able to handle the way a person handle.
Thank you. But you know the answers these women were given. It was so sad. Obi say on bisane kunu kra. Obetia ni nua no. Obe pamo ni nua na fi ni nchen no preserving a marriage. Obi say obe calling ni nua ne ewo ebusuafo anim. Like they let the men off the hook. Omo yi men mani si nchen. Saying say or ninia obano na ekotempting. So the guy, it was a podcast actually. So the guy asked the question, said, now what if Ubeto say afa oba ba? And the answer was the same. I can look for it and send it to you.
Like
I literally felt tears in my eyes. I said, why are these old women thinking this way?
But people can only give what they have.
Right. Yeah. Because that is how they were brought up. Say no matter what, stick. And there was another one. I mean, or say the two women podcast. Maybe I listen to those things. You know, or say or no dear. Ni kuna be bonne or say ni kuna bonne ni so. Once na wana be mana bonne ni so. I don't also join. And there was a story. Say be mana crab bonne mana pass out that. But this is it. She was brought up to understand. Say
abuse your love.
It's a love. See, no matter what happens, you stick with your husband. No matter what happens, as I say, customer is always right. Bema is always right. And it's so sad that in this modern day and age, people still have this kind of mentality. You see? So, when it comes to change, and they are the same women that are going to raise they are the same women that are going to be raising men for the Oba girl. What I say? Into imagine say sa Oba we watete obema and answer akrani tifi no hu we nyina na ne mam obeware Oba. What will happen? Imagine say sa mami we atete Oba ba. Imagine what will happen. See, so no matter what is going on, they don't want to change. And change in best started from their minds, their hearts, their emotions, their spirit. Nothing is open to it.
I think exposure. So initially, that was what feminism was supposed to do. To expose women to certain things. Now it's not exposure. Now it's more of competition, and that's why I think it should be disbanded.
It's the way you see it.
No,
Like
it's
the
a
way
pure.
are they
Because
No, no. How
can
can you? But think about this in a minute. Do you think a man can actually say women are trash?
Some men say it.
Hell no, not in the public domain. Hell no, not in public.
But
We have
it doesn't
music.
matter where they say it.
It does.
Does it into your can work?
Debbie, I'm not saying it's
does,
okay.
because like in public, there are other people, there are kids over
Yes.
there. They would think it's right. They would think it's the norm. So it's affecting one person. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm saying the impact is it's not the same.
The impact is not the same.
The impact is not the same.
But women go around and say what they can do, what men can do. Women do it and do it better.
Because say baby to me I say you're trash.
No. Women go around parading and notion say what they do, what men can do, no, and do it better.
I know na make say no dear me to me, It's a saying.
But what do you mean by it's the same? This is what is empowering these kids. It's not just a saying.
It is empowering them to learn, to
When
go
you have
to
somebody
school, to feel confident in themselves.
So when the moment you make
supposed to know be a doctor, you can also be a doctor. To me,
and be a better doctor than the man.
Don't we have women that are better doctors than
They say it right, and then they equate that to like Brother is saying, like
It's
pig.
just
Like,
The
how
moment
we understand
it's not
everybody
understanding. No, it's not understanding. The moment you say you are better than somebody, you have set a pace for competition.
This is not saying you are better than somebody. This is saying you can do it better.
but that's
That
what.
is-
But that is
the
you
phrase-
saying better than
No.
Chevy is a producer.
No,
You
no.
are a producer. See
I
what
can
men
do it
can do.
better. I am
You
not
can do
saying
it better.
I am not
If you
saying
say
I am better than Chevy. No.
No.
I can do what
No,
Chevy
T,
is doing
T,
and
T.
do it better. It's
Okay.
an action. There's
It's an
difference.
action, and that action comes with
There is
competition.
difference. No.
It brings
If you
competition.
want to see it as competition,
No, it's
then
not.
yes.
It's not. No, it's not what I want to say.
It's not the way you
To
say
say-
it.
When you say,
Latin American, it depends
bro,
on how
sis,
everybody
sis,
interprets it.
we are in the same zone. We're all doing the same thing. And I walk in here and say,
What Chevy is doing.
what Chevy is doing. When you do it better than Chevy.
You
When you
can.
you can do it better than Chevy.
Yes.
Okay. And then when you go in there, when I say this in front of Chevy, what do you think the mindset of Chevy? Chevy, I'm going to let you speak. What do you think the mindset of Chevy is going to be at this moment that these words have been said?
Chevy's gonna reset everything to default and then have us like do it better.
I want to hear from Chevy.
That's what I would do.
That's what you would do. What will you do?
I see that as competition. You say you're better than me, but you got to show me you're better.
Yeah.
For you to do
This
more
is-
too.
See, we are not
encourages
we
and
are not.
motivating
Yes,
you.
because also Obane Ba, you are also going. You don't want to stay there for her to catch up. Probably.
That's
So
what he's
we
trying
are
to avoid.
competing.
That's what he's trying to avoid.
That's what I'm trying to avoid.
Listen, we are getting this whole thing twisted. There's a difference, and I've said it, and I'll repeat it. There's
Okay,
a difference.
repeat it.
There's different. If you say I want
better than you and-
I'm better than you, and I
can
want
do
to
it better.
I can do it. It's an action.
There's difference between I can do it and I can do it better.
There's
No.
different than
I'm
there's
better.
different
That's
between
comparative.
Better than you,
No.
and then I can do an action better than you.
Yeah.
There are two different things.
Okay.
Let's establish
So
that.
so what's the difference between what's the difference between you and I working at the same place? And I'm making this example again, right? And then you say, so what Mike does, I can do it better, right? And we are in a predominantly male profession, mechanic, right? And you're saying, so you heard, so Mike makes like $18 an hour. Why are you guys paying me $16 if I can do better than Mike, right? In your case, you do have a legit reason, right? And then I come back and say that I put in an engine, I fix an engine, lift it and put it in the car by myself. But then when you are doing it, I'm supposed to leave whatever I'm doing to assist you. For that reason, we are not the same. Like,
I have to be paid more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm women and men are not the same. That one day is established. I want to cry while the way. Me ni be. Into no say about way na. Sa saying no. If me di shemi team about mechanic jumani moi. I me di shemi team. I'm a met to me more. Mind you, mechanic jumano. I don't believe say it's all about lifting engines. A big crana learning about engine, no, how it functions, no. Now, so there are so many mechanics that they don't lift. Almost they have this. So I can learn some aspects of the mechanic jumano without lifting an engine. It is to let me know, say, okay, don't we have men that sew?
And I make a
sewing, basically sewing.
But sewing a beme juma. No.
You were tailor for.
No.
Asuma friends, didn't see na Kumasika say dominated by women. Right? It's because if we flip it around, it's a man saying it now. The answer becomes men are better than women.
No.
So, but the point is, communication I work on, right? A man understanding of the word or the phrases that women are using, and they say you are setting the pace for competition.
I don't know what's more James.
Why? So now you want to control the way we think too. Women want to control the way because that's what you just said. You say you are better.
No. I'm not saying I'm better.
That's the statement. One man can do, women can do it better.
She's saying,
there's a difference. There's a difference.
What's the difference?
For the action.
The difference,
right? Say, yeah.
When you have Oprah Winfrey standing on the Grammys or Oscar stage, saying, what men can do, women can do it better. Do you think, say, the 8-year-old kid now, Tifina, looking at just mere words?
Oprah was just probably like just looking at like the females in that place. No, remember didn't count.
Because
just
that's the point. And you say, yeah, make it statement. We are making it from a man's point of view. Yeah. And when women express and say, this word that you said, no, it is this, it did this, it did this. We are supposed to accept it and work on how we say it is towards women. When it is ours.
No, I
didn't say that. Yes, I didn't. And yes, I
didn't Chevy Juma or ye. On peso baba be yeno, dear oye, and even better. Now say Chevy like Munina Momo.
Why should it be gender based?
Because from the onset, women have been left behind.
So now women have to be better than men because first they have a compensation time. Is that compensation time?
It is just motivation. It is just motivation.
You can motivate somebody by not bringing the other person down.
Nobody is bringing nobody down.
A competition. A man too. How is
it competition?
Okay, so can we have an opinion on an issue that bothers us?
As a man,
that's why we don't speak. Because we speak, you don't listen. I'm just telling you right now. You're
there is no need to speak. There is no need to speak.
Communication,
It's only good when it's coming from them. Like, just listen to whatever they say. Say yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will do it. You got it.
You got it. You got it. I love you, baby.
Michael's not saying. I'm about to show you.
Yes, Bob.
That's what you guys want.
That's not what we want.
I don't know why.
I just think it's the better phrase. So just stop saying better. Anything a man can do, a woman can do. Don't say better.
Actually, I agree.
Better, that's a competition.
Yeah.
That's when the competition mindset kicks in. When you say you can do something better than a man. Just say a woman could do the same things as a man can do.
And no crime me because if you are me you ben one.
Why?
Shabi me you say I do no ben one between one. It will be quite to believe say.
When I see you to me no.
Sister Jai we be there do it. Me there me ability me to be there.
Because one cycle mind is say who to me yeah. And also I too for say who to me I encourage you and I agree with Chevy. Right? So the better na wo no na yes. But I think say maybe they used it because of how far back women were. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was how far back women were. But at the end of the day, no, maybe I believe said the goal is maybe a bibia or bar is encouraged. Say also bet me or be me go school. And
also bet me school.
Yes.
Also bet me go school class.
Like we are capable of doing anything and everything we want to do.
Of course.
We put our minds to work.
Why is the message not that though?
It's not make can say you need power cut now say your coin is.
But women.
At the end of the day, I believe that this is the goal. The goal, no, that empowerment factor. Say, Mama, let's wake up and try and do something for it. It shouldn't be one. Sometimes, when women take upon themselves profession be a man based that they do better. They do better. Let's they say okay. Let me better than feel, but they do well. Let me just use well. They do well.
They do well
because
in
they function like anybody.
Very observant. Women are very, very pay attention to little details.
But women
so
but then they always try to change the rules.
When you're baby,
women come into predominantly. I love women, man. I just love women. They make things easier. You know how we are all sitting here and having this conversation. I've learned a lot. Like there are so many things that I have learned today. But they made me I kind of say. Yakopon ball and mema in the way your life is very cutthroat.
Yeah.
It's very cutthroat. It is also we are saying enema ehunina mema na ye. Esu obi akodi obi editi akodi atrema mema. Obi enema ye jide ehun. Oh, yes, obi akun obi ne ma de so munkunipa. Asymmetry. Yeah. Ema nkuni mema na yesa crimes we because in nature na Nyankopon the mind Nyankopon my nature say ye de be jadwuma ye de ahema ene enkwada san Nyankopon it's your life you go get it. It's everything is a competition to men.
Yeah, it's always been.
Everything is to say me TS here.
Any competition, kwa mo fan competition.
That's our nature.
It is say
enuntina problem aye wo no. Ye ka kire mo no. Say they say mo see open up. Say me yere no. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They say me yere no. Now you use phrase be. Say what men can do, women can do better. Ebia your goal enye me. But my natural instincts a kick in.
Yeah.
I said, babe, you cannot be using this kind of phrases around me. It triggers me. Yeah. I think it's all back as I said, baby. Me de be because say oh na me ye wade. Now to me catch every say ade a wo ye. Me ne nye ho. It's not me to say oh I've been used to this, I've been doing this. So far as I was when in nye ho no, it's a chaso.
That's right.
And I think as a man also hear the same thing for us. Yeah. Because for a man, the reason why we don't speak in say because you can't any buafo.
Doesn't matter.
Unya can't. Oh, now so they can the beba so far they get to ebi. Beba they get to ebi.
Narcissist they worry as a mema does a chairman.
Of course.
Abodan for the mema does.
BBM mema does. Ayare for mema does.
Apart from my story.
Because who come bia.
Apart from my story.
Because who come bia have you seen have you walked into any huge hospital in this world? I will quite say this portion is dedicated to men. There's nothing for men.
In see.
To say bia, who men's clinic a extracurricular activity. But we have a whole section dedicated for women. OBGYN. A man call home him who ye won't check away.
Now say your man so dear prostate.
You're very decent. A million. A general care. A general care. Because
yeah, I want any idea a woman know.
And like hormonal changes
now or buying him to
sister, if we say yes, we had the problems. So what I'm saying is society is tilted against men in so many aspects. So ba upi has is here. Now we catch it almost say Kumasi Abomasuma. Big Michael not even ask. Kumasi Anabozo because I don't want Jimmy and Obara. That's the first thing.
True.
The rather because Charlie the we are or he about shoot me super. It is say over catch it is say yesterday. Oh, say you need help. And then we are trying
which is true.
Ye be mun kakra. I say musi en kasa ni ye bi. Ye be mu so a.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, sister.
Yeah, so it's that for foot to chat to just the ya bring time no cry. Say ko bolende.
I dare so send crazy for. I think that we've had a very, very fruitful conversation here, and like you said, no but the debate chat on say, what I'm big on, I am big on, and I'm big on conversation. I mean, communication. Thank you, communication. I mean, you know, so I'm fan to young ones, never. Some of us we've been there, and it's here. We've had the experience. Obi experience, and obi the nye pe. Sometimes obi can ask me jini pakure chinye bebre because me experience is different from Nipan. But I would say with my initial submission, let's try as much as possible gather more information about whoever we want to settle down with. Because that is the basis. And I say, and on the foundation of idea mobile building in future.
Right.
Try and gather as much as information you think you can. Then evaluate it to see, say, can I handle it? Because I tell you what, that is what you get. That is what you get.
This is a for us.
The next day, you know, and then try as much as possible to gather and now we are evaluate to see, say, is this something I can handle? And then lastly, let's tell ourselves, say, send your creative specs in our heads, in writing and everything. Let's also work on ourselves to be spec for somebody. Oh, your bar, like I said, I don't subscribe to a bar on your juma. I mean, I don't subscribe to housewife. Your bar, empower yourself, find something to do, be ready emotionally, be ready mentally, be ready physically, spiritually, everything. And son our enter into being to coexist with somebody because our coexistence.
Right.
And son our coexisting with somebody because coexisting and your remedy to sebi edam.
It has. I know him. You go back back.
Me just send out kind of Renaissance. I think that personally, I think that for the rest of the year, I'll just dedicate it to learn about women. I think that like men need to learn about women so we can understand. I think that usually, we look at them as like complicated, like human beings and creatures that God made that we can never understand. But maybe we need to put in some effort, or like we'll try to understand, and hopefully we can see. I think so, like I would advise most men to try to understand their partners or their wives, and things that the world will be a better place.
Yeah,
on my comedian number, Mecca say it's all about conversation, understanding, patience.
Would that be?
It shouldn't be one-sided.
2024, the other month for my 2025 for bar. Yes.
Compromise. Listen, we need to listen.
With that being said, this was ATM. I was produced by Chevy. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Big Mike. Thank you, Obapa. And a change drivers were Basunti. Yeah, bye bye.
Hi.